Well, hello, everybody. As you can tell, hello to Major. I have very few drivers who have actually turned on their streams so far today. I don't know if that is just voting with their feet or they didn't want to stream qualifying, but I'm going to try and get everybody's streams up that I can. So forgive me for a moment while I figure this out with Majors for now anyway. Yeah, it's useful to me if everybody can get them on before qualifying, before they qualify, and then don't have to worry about it. But should be able to get majors on at least. The thing is with the YouTube ones is they do fall behind a little bit from Twitch and my stream. It's just I don't know, just the way the encoding works, and I don't really have a lot of control over it. I just have to wait for this live chat thing to appear, and then I can close it. Here we go. And then we should have some major get wrecked action there. He's just sitting in the pits at the moment. And of course, most of our drivers in focus anyway have already qualified and done their qualifying. Hi to Elite Rain. I've got your screen up, so appreciate you for getting yours up and running nice and quick. As well, looks like Nate isn't streaming today, which kind of sucks because I'd love to see his races in live living colour. I don't see David's either. Kind of frustrating because he got in touch with me post-race last time, said I'd love to have my stream up with you, and I stream every race. So, so yeah, it's all fun and games. But I was struggling to even get 3 up to fit. But good news is we've got Ghost Stroke as well, so that rocks. Good to see Ghost Stroke is up and alive. And I don't see Tozer, that one sim racer at the moment either. So let's have a check. He doesn't appear to be streaming again, sadly. There was Ghost Stroke main picture. Now the GT4s are finishing their qualifying. Live always says Elite Rain. Yeah, the GT4s just finishing up. They occupy the second 20 minutes of the main allocation. So that's all they have. I can see Marnik streamed something about Barcelona the other day, but he's not streaming again, and I don't know why Marnik has stopped streaming. It's kind of annoying, but hey, you know, I know some drivers have to protect their internet connection and everything. I'll do one last check at Discord, see if anybody is letting me know anything. Nope. Okay. So just Major has acquiesced to my request to get that on and going. But yeah, hopefully we have sufficient. I will try and organise my start screen as well. There's Major. So David can be switched off. So can Nate and Tozer. There he is. But Ghost is on. Aries is always reliable. Was the first driver up and running today. So hats off to Aries. GG on that one. Who else have we got? So Aries is running. Major, Ghost. Who am I missing? Brandon, Elite Rain. Let's get Elite Rain's on the screen as well. He's up there. That's all fine. So I don't know that I've got enough for our patented 5 stream starts. Oh, that really sucks. Elite Rain, Major, Ghost, Aries. Those are the 4. Major saying starting P11, Major. Well, that sucks. That really sucks. Sorry to hear it. Yeah, there's nobody else sitting there without a stream running. So let's just have to reorganise these today. Sadly, I do like to have everybody's stream on that we can. There we go. Let's put Elite Rain over here, and then at least we're capturing a fair amount of drivers. Got a four car start, which is better than most most streams give you. So let's do what we can. So yeah, as I said before, I always have to reorganize the leaderboards and things like that. It's kind of difficult to get everything up. So we've got somebody starting P1. I don't know who that is at the moment. Let me it's Marnik, who's P1 at the moment, ahead of Alpha, Angel, Hellgrind, Aries, Rubinho, Nordic Dad, Chappie, Simracer, Elite Rain, Major Get Wrecked in 11th, and then Lemon Lime, or Lime Lemon, starting at the back of the GT3s. The GT4s have yet to qualify or finish qualifying, 7 minutes on the clock for them, and Kai Van Hesse ahead of GTX Dave and Hunter, the current order of things. So let's get you a driver who is actually on the track, shall we, to watch. They're in the dark and the dirge of a Saturday qualifying session at the moment, with a similar start time to the race. So this will probably be how our race finishes up, but it is we should hopefully be in sort of late afternoon, early evening sunset conditions for our main race, so that should be interesting and fun for everybody. Just want to check I haven't missed somebody out here. No, I've only got 4 drivers. I'm sorry about it. This is the fewest drivers I've ever been able to connect since we started doing this great multi-stream view here. So Hellgrind saying, love this track, love to see you back again, Hellgrind, as well. So great to have you with us here. As things stand at the moment in qualifying here, we've got Kai Van Hesse ahead of the GT4s, GTX Dave and Hunter, with a 4/10 gap. Kai to GTX Dave, then Milkman, Rice, Ghost Stroke, Alohi, North Sea Max Tracks, David, Aussie Osmanian, and then Matrix sitting right at the back. Hasn't really set a time yet. I'm going to step away because there is an oven turn-off situation, or a stove turn-off situation, that I've been entrusted with. Otherwise we have burned dinner. I'll be right back with you momentarily. Okay, there I am back for you. So I have remembered the dinner. Otherwise, obviously, an hour hence, and we would have a very, very burnt dinner. You can get your guesses in for for what we're having, if you so desire. I hope everyone's doing well today. Let me know who you're here to support as well. Good to see you. Yeah, thanks for that message there, Hellgrind. Just to mention as well that it's always useful to the channel growth if you can hit the like today before anything takes you away from the stream. There's a hype button for new videos, which is also useful, and of course the super chat or super thanks gifting is available as well. And basically, if you wish, you can also join Team Webbo. Several drivers in Black Flag have done so. And I'm always appreciative. Some behind the scenes early access videos, and some cool stuff, as well as I can also do kind of cool personalized commentary or cameo style clips for Team Webbo members. Hit the join button, find out more. Hi to Kyle, here to support me or anyone but Hunter. We have obviously our race 1 under our belts. It's race 2 now of the 7. He says, furiously counting, with a drop score taken into account, with an extra long race at Laguna Seca at the end of the season. So we're looking forward to that. I will in the intermission take you through the current standings as things are looking for us all. Yeah, race 1 was complete, taking North Star Racing to the top of the tree on a 50-point haul, ahead of Chewy Motorsports on 47, and then a huge gap back to late breakers scoring 15 only, and Kessel Run Racing only down in 11th. Those are our 4 teams today, by the way, and for the rest of the season. Always interesting to see new races. So the silver and purpley blue colour cars are North Star. The Gulf blue and orange, which I try not to show any favourability towards, are Kessel Run Racing. The bright red are the late breakers, and the green and silver are the Chewy Motorsports, named after Hunter's dog and Chewbacca, I believe. And now, fun fact, Chewbacca's voice was actually a splice of German Shepherd dogs, of which I have one, and I can attest to the accuracy of that fact. I don't think that that Hunter's dog is a German Shepherd, but I shall stand corrected. I think I've seen him on the stream, so I don't think Hunter's dog is that, but a Chewy nonetheless. Good to have everybody making their way to us here right now. I'm sorry for the murk and the mist and the gloom on this dark track circuit. It's Barcelona, Catalunya, in case you hadn't been able to tell from the track map. Top left. Hi to Marnik. Why is your stream not on, Marnik? On Twitch, I can't see you streaming. So if it's internet, I will always take that as a valid excuse. The GT4's Kai Van Hesse leads this qualifying session, coming to a close now. With a time of 1:54.432 ahead of GTX Dave and Hunter. Milkman in P16 on track anyway, but 4th in the GT4s, ahead of Rice, Ghost Stroke, Alohi, Northsea, Max Trax, David, Osmanian Devil, and Matrix, who I think is coming in to sub for drivers at the moment. Anyway, Matrix hasn't got a team name affiliation in front, and that actually makes me think I might be able to get our famous 5-car start going, because I can add Matrix back in from last season. Let's see. Should we have a look and see if Matrix is in fact streaming for us? Dun, dun, dun. Let's refresh that. Interact with that. No. Matrix. Yes, I think he might be. There he is. Okay, awesome. All right, so we will try and give you a little bit of Matrix. Let's turn that on and add in Matrix into the 5-car start. Super, just what I want. I always love to see drivers in the GT4s at the back there making their starts. It's very difficult to focus on the GT4s at the start of qualifying. The checkered flag is out for qualifying, so this is how things will finish up. I don't know many drivers. Well, we've got 4 still on track. The highlighted driver number 16 at the moment. This is the Milkman, who is in fact number 26 in 16th place overall. There you go, 4th in class, and we'll see if Milkman can deliver a good lap. Sorry about that one. I currently have 4 of 6 late breakers streaming. Well, there you go, Elite Rain. They're clearly late breakers, but early streamers, and I appreciate that. So yeah, big thank you to them for doing that. Always good to have everybody on. There's Elite Rain, Major. I see Elite Rain's name is offline a little bit, but hopefully you can live with that. Hope no one watching has got OCD. That's all. We're still on the max wait time. Everyone on their way into the pits. Looks like no one's setting a hot one at the moment. That is David in the 33. He asked to. He expressed regret that I didn't have his stream on our stream last time, and then hasn't turned it on today. Not on the link he gave me anyway. So. Number 33, David, P21 in the end there, and that is how qualifying session finished. Let's have a look. Marnik, 3.5 tenths ahead of Alpha is a really good time from Marnik, 43.692 ahead of Ankel, Hellgrind, Aries, Rubinho, Nordic Dad, Chappie, Sim Racer, Elite Rain, Major Get Wrecked, and Lime Lemon taking out. I think Lime Lemon is subbing or reserving in today. Don't know for what team. We'll find out when we get there. GT4s, Kai Van Hesse, GTX Dave, Hunter, Milkman, Rice, Ghost Stroke, Alohi, North Sea David, Max Trax, Tasmanian Devil, and Matrix starting at the back. Let's have a look at how our standings look after that first race of the championship. I hope you've got really large TVs, and I'm up on and the stream is up and displayed on the really large TV, because frankly I can't even read all of that. But Alpha heads Marnik and Angel. Of course, the standings are the results of the Red Bull Ring first race of the season. Nate, Aries, Chappie, Get Wrecked, Elite Rain, Nordic Dads, Sim Racer and Rubinho, with the latter 4 of those no scoring out of the previous round. Remember, top 7 in each class score points. We have in the GT4s Kai Van Hesse ahead of Alohi and GTX Dave, Hunter, Milkman, David and Cetrox scoring. And I already talked a little bit about those team standings. So you let me know your observations. The drivers will drop their worst score with us over the course of this 7-race season. So they only have to attend 6. But obviously their chances are made better if they desire to head on in and sort themselves out for a 7th race. Then of course they can drop their worst score. Not just can they absolutely will. So let me know your predictions today. Marnik out qualifying Alpha, as it was the other way around last time out. Alpha having a little bit of an action-packed race, you have to say, out there, but in the end coming home with the most points, and Marnik and Angel securing that podium, with Nate just away from the podium in the GT3s. Kai Van Hesse had it all his own way at the Red Bull Ring. Will we see the same situation, I wonder, here at Barcelona? It's just a very different circuit, you have to say. So I have had to sit and wait for long enough, and I have just... I need to hit return to garage. I'm getting into a bad situation here. So I either quit. There we go, finally. It has allowed me to go back to the pits. I thought for a minute I was stuck in the car, but thankfully we are all good and out. So let's get you some action then for our start. We'll go for our full 5 full 5 view option. I'll have to just refresh the YouTube ones, or interact with them slightly, and just, as I say, the YouTube ones just decay slightly. It's kind of weird, but they do. Everybody else looks like they are streaming to Twitch, and it's a-okay for us. So there's a bit of moving around, under braking, as you would expect. Watching with Aries there, the number 992 in the Porsche 992, appropriately enough. I'm sure that was deliberate. Hellgrind in the Gulf livery Kessel Run Racing colour scheme. Marnik leading ahead of Alpha and Angel, just ahead of them. There's a couple of drivers I wanted to check in on as to what teams they are representing today. Lime Lemon will be a late breaker today, at the back of the GT3 field. And who else do we have? Matrix. Who is Matrix? So before another late breaker. There you have it. So going great. So what we got going on? Are we spoiling the no, you're not spoiling. Oh, that's your that's your prediction. Nate Marnik Elite. Very nice, very nice. That would I'm sure please your team no end. So in fact, I don't see Nate today, so there's probably a good reason why Nate isn't streaming, because he's not here. So sorely missed is Nate, non-admin member number 1 of Black Flag Racing. I don't think he or anyone will get tired of mentioning that. Marnik in the Lexus, of course, which governs the livery choice of the rest of their team. If someone elects to go for that that Lexus, because you can't change the liveries, you've got choice of 3. Kyle saying Marnik Alpha Hellgrind. Awesome. So yes, you're not going to get Nate on the podium, unfortunately today. I mean, if he does, that will be quite the miracle. But Marnik in P1 ahead of Alpha, Lexus, BMW, McLaren, Mustang, Porsche. What a show at the start here we're going to have. Hopefully this means that the draft has worked really well, and the choices of cars has gone nicely indeed. Angel there in the McLaren should be starting behind the BMW. So yeah, the 33 just getting himself, the 98. I don't know why I'm saying 30 anything. Anyway, we're coming through. It is the less desirable chicane here for the end of the circuit, as we get underway then for a 60-minute race with one required pit stop for 1 litre of fuel minimum, and the drivers will be getting ready to get ourselves underway then, and I will get you the three view with leaderboard as soon as humanly possible. So, 1 hour awaits us. There's the green flag. It's dropped the clutch. It's go, go, go. Some late breakers moving around at the background. And it's Alpha who's got a great launch on the cleaner side of the grid. But Marnik has the inside line as they barrel downhill into the turn 1, 2, 3 chicane section here. And Marnik has been pipped by Alpha at the very start of the race. Very, very early doors there. And it's Angel struggling to hold on to the two leaders. Coattails Rubinho in P4, I want to say, with Hellgrind not far behind in the Kessel Run Racing. Aries moving forward very nicely indeed into P6, I think that is, with Chappie and Simracing not far behind them as well. Looks like we are moving through quite neat and tidy, as the GT3s have, for once, all got away pretty well. I say that, and it looks like Elite Rain is going out very wide there. No, it's not Elite Rain, excuse me. It was Lime Lemon, who's about to be overtaken by Kai van Hesse in the GT4. Lime Lemon, obviously reserving today, and a little bit rusty into the difficult slow turn 5. There's Kai van Hesse on the inside, staying ahead through turn 9, but there's no way of getting around that. There's a braking marker board in the middle of the track on the long run downhill in towards turn 10, and that's a hugely late move coming in the wow, that was the Ginetta of GTX Dave forcibly making his way by Kai van Hesse. Perhaps GTX Dave a little bit frustrated at having to follow Kai for so long in the previous race, and now washing out wide into turn 13. Around we go into the chicane. It looks like Kai's struggling to get to the first apex of the chicane. Going wide, that might pick up a track limit strike there on the way out, but as they come down, it is GTX Dave ahead of Kai van Hesse, and the rest of the GT4s have got away very safely. Alpha still leads the GT3 field ahead of Marnik, biding his time potentially here as the gaps have opened out slightly. We've got Rubinho in the Ford Mustang in the Chewy Motorsports livery, holding off for now the Ford Mustang in the Gulf Kessel Run Racing livery. Into turn 4 we go, a tortuously long corner, turn 4, and you need to try and focus on the exit point and wait patiently. Carry as much speed in as you can, because you're going to be waiting to get that throttle down through turn 5, which is a blink and you miss it, tight hairpin profile downhill corner, and then you're into 6 now, and 7 over the curb as much as you dare through 8, and then it's a matter of how fast and brave can you be through turn 9. How well is your car set up? No corner demanding more from the aero than turn 9, and as we head down into turn 10, that's a good defense coming from the Chewy Motorsports car of Rubinho there, with Hellgrind absolutely on his tail and hunting around for the best possible opportunity as they come back through turn 12. Now it's looking amazing. In this sunset conditions, it's almost completely nighttime. It's 8:16 here at Barcelona today, so it is a very, very late one, and we will be heading deep into the night conditions, I'm sure. Aries waiting to pick up whatever pieces and crumbs are left from the battle between the two Mustangs here. Fantastic camera angles. Absolutely love this helicam around Barcelona. It's not every race that it comes out quite so well, but here it is. And there's Aries down the inside. Check out Aries' stream bottom left as well, because you'll get a sort of action replay of that from his perspective. But Hellgrind held on very, very well indeed. Round to the outside on the marbles through turn 3. That could bring Chappie right into the mix here. A great 3-car battle we've got going on for P4, 5 and 6, although P5 appears to be disappeared off our standings. Alpha still ahead of Marnik, and we will try and go back to back to our leaderboard angle for you, so you can see where everybody is. I do need to just make a change to it. It just has a little bit of admin to take care of. There you go. That should be race positions now. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good with Aries, Elite Rain and Major Get Wrecked. The cars in focus at the moment. Let me just check on Get Wrecked's stream as well. Oh, it is up to date. That's great. Okay, super. So Marnik behind 1.5 seconds behind Alpha, and then Angel further 1 second behind Marnik. Angel hasn't got his full beam headlights on. How does this look from Angel's point of view? This is a very dark race, so I don't know if anybody on the team, the North Star Racing team, can tell him that his lights are not on, because this is going to be very tricky. But that was an easy spot for us, wasn't it? When you take into account, you're just looking at this and he's just not lighting up the racetrack by any stretch. Aries Cloud is holding off the much larger fronted Ford Mustang, who's flashing the lights. An aggressive move here by Hellgrind. The door was left open, you have to say, and Hellgrind forcing his way by no contact, but there was plenty of light flashing and a very late move there. But he made it stick. He's back out though. His line, he does tend to like going way out there on the marbles. Aries then stretching the width of the racetrack in towards the entry of turn 4 as much as he dares, and then you can just see the Porsche and the Mustang, very, very different handling as they go through here. Looks like Aries has a much softer, more gradual steering action on corner entry, because with the Porsche he's got to not light up any particular corner of the car, particularly the rears there, so he has to treat that Porsche very carefully. The Mustang, it needs wrestling into corners by much more. It can be slower to get into the corner, but it is far more stable once it's in the corner ready for you. Looks like Chappie is having a really good run at the moment in the Ferrari. He's chasing down. There's another Ferrari directly behind, the Nordic Dad. We haven't heard from Team Nordic Dad and their and all the support from them. So shout out to any Henrys or Nordics in the field. Elite Rain is in P10, and we've got behind him Simracer in 11th, and Lime Lemon, who's keeping up with Simracer at this time. I think Simracer may have had a problem earlier on, so perhaps I'm being a little bit generous there to Lime Lemon. Rice has taken the lead of the GT4 field, as you'll be able to see, I'm sure, on your leaderboard display on the screen. I have to kind of focus and concentrate on the main game screen here so that I can take in all the details. I can't actually see my display very well, but for the second time, GTX Dave finds a way past of the leader of the race. Now, that promotes North Sea up to P2 and Kai van Hesse up to P3 in class. But it does seem like GTX Dave is certainly out there with the battle. He's built for combat today, shall we say. North Sea for the late breakers there, being slightly outbraked by Kai van Hesse, who is struggling, you have to say, to see the racetrack particularly well. Kai's teammate Rice, who was in the lead of the race momentarily, in 16th or 4th in the field of GT4s. Milkman in 5th, Alohi in 6th place as we go through the field at the moment. Osmanian Devil 7th, David in 8th place, Hunter down, unfortunately, in 9th place. I'm surprised that Hunter isn't a streamer that I can tune into, although you should be able to hopefully see Matrix. Maxtrax is in 10th. We've got Ghost Stroke in 11th, and Matrix there in the last position on the circuit at the moment. But out front, Alpha still in the lead of the GT3s with Marnik. A growing gap still, about 1.5 seconds, and you can see it possibly. Is that a little bit of moisture on the camera there? Possibly, I'm not sure. It's difficult to tell in these conditions, but certainly there was some sort of light effect on our main game camera there as they came through. So I'll try and give you a slightly lower angle. It is a very overcast evening here in Barcelona, and while the rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain, we can often see it here at Barcelona, dependent on the time of year, particularly winter testing and racing. It's Angel in P3, Rubinho in 4th position. It's Hellgrind down in 5th at the moment. I shouldn't say down in 5th. He's doing pretty well out there. Chappie is, as far as I can tell, in 6th. It's a bit of an odd one, the way that our race order is listed on the game. That's why we bring you the extra leaderboard information here on the channel. And that is Aries Cloud defending hard from, is that Nordic Dad directly behind. So Aries is lost out to Chappie. You probably were able to see that happen as Aries lost a position there for a few moments. But I'm sure he's up for the challenge of getting those places back. I'm just going to try and give you possibly a different driver. Let's give you a bit of Ghost Stroke, shall we? Bottom right from there, and I haven't turned on Matrix's view on this particular screen, so I'll try and give you some Matrix as well a little bit later on in the session. So. In fact, I will put him over here. Right. Talking to myself. I'm my own producer here, so I'm kind of giving you a little bit of that behind the scenes chat. Nordic Dad in P8. Get Wrecked in 9th. Has not wrecked yet. Elite Rain is in 10th place with Sim Racer, showing unusually low down in the field at the moment. He did, I believe, have some issue earlier on. But he's significantly ahead of Lime Lemon. Then we have GTX Dave, whose car is still, at least the headlights are still working. I'm slightly surprised at that at the moment. They're in the only Ginetta in the field. I need to do a single make Ginetta race, maybe this week on the Tuesday Euro Sprints. I'll have a look at that. Kai van Hesse has made his way up to P2 in class. And now he's got the not unenviable task of getting past GTX Dave today here at Barcelona. This is Northsea, not Nordic Dad, it's Northsea, NOR, on his windshield there, the 356 Porsche. Porsche, not a particularly popular choice among our GT4 drivers. The Mercedes was the one that got the most love, I think, from our crowd here. Let's have a look. I know we've got a good rear view somewhere, and I can never find it. I can find the button for the rear view of this, but you can catch it in the mirror there. This is on board with Northsea, as we have Rice. Let's cut back to Rice, shall we? As we light up that bright red late breaker Porsche in front, and teammate headlights are behind by 1.4 seconds. Not a big hassle there. Excellent paint scheme, North, but there's a better spread of GT4s this season compared to last season, says Kyle. Yeah, I have to agree. Do like the look of the liveries this year. They are particularly helpful for your commentator to have fewer teams and more distinct team interpretations of the liveries today. Rice in 4th place, trying to get that GT4 podium if he can. Remember that we are only 6 minutes away from the pit window opening for our drivers today. Oh, that's Rice having a look around the outside on the way into the Mickey Mouse chicane at the end of the lap there. I think it does probably does suit the GT race cars better than the F1 cars, I think, having the chicane there. But I hate watching Formula cars struggle around that stupid chicane. And I'm glad that they took it away again. Oh, that's a late one from Rice there, and it was a little bit too late, but now we've got contact. Sadly, that's North Sea. That's North Sea. Is he off? He's managed to recover. Milkman's gone straight back through, but unfortunately, that was a late move coming from Rice, and then North Sea trying their switch back. Rice recovering, and 2 into 1 didn't go into that second chicane. Thunder Army says, let's go Nordic Dad. Excellent. Let's go back to Nordic Dad then and see where he is. As Milkman's put himself in third in the GT4 field. We've got Kai van Hesse closing in on GTX Dave right now. Let's go and see if we can't find ourselves a Nordic Dad, shall we? Or a Nordic Grandad sometimes. Here he is in P8 right now. You can see obviously on your leaderboard display that I can't monitor as constantly with my with my view here, but as they come through, then Nordic Dad in P7, and we've got Aries just ahead of him in the 992, both race number and Porsche model number. I don't know if you guys are seeing that when the lights come directly towards the camera, but it does look like there's a little bit of moisture gathering around. We're not predicted any actual rain, but weather is changeable, and we've only got the weather prediction for the next 15 minutes on our main game display there, so you never quite know what we're going to see today, but for what we can see at this stage, it does look like the rain is going to hold off. Aries then in the Porsche, in that P6. In front of him is Chappie, having a really good race. Chappie. Hellgrind has put a little bit of a gap now on the chasing pack, and he's hunting down a provisional podium. He can see his target in front. That's Rubinho in P3. Angel still in that second place as well. And then we have, Angel in third, Marnik in second, and he's right with Alpha. So let's change the view here. In fact, I think there was a touch there between them, and that's Alpha round. He's gone off for the circuit. Alpha has spun into the main race line there. He's had to put himself in the gravel, but that was a touch on the way into turn one between Marnik and Alpha, and Marnik was a long way back, and then Alpha failing to recover off circuit on a straight line, and I think there was a tap. Grace, but I don't want to say for certain because it's not the best angle to see that. But clearly Alpha trying to rejoin. You have the ability on the live stream to just knock back the time by 20 seconds and see it again, and you can let me know what you think. But it is so dark, says Kyle. Exactly that. It is much easier to see from in-car, and as Grace said earlier on, look at this. This is the field. This is the GT3 field passing the GT4s for the first time of asking, and because all the cars are still bunched up, it's a very, very busy racetrack up there in front of this group. Look at this. This is madness in the dark as well. Thankfully, it looks like everybody does now have their main beam headlights on. We saw earlier on a couple of cars, or at least one, that hadn't turned their lights on. I thought the game normally flashes at you to tell you to turn your lights on there, but clearly Angel is struggling. Angel posts a GT4 in the rear there. That was, that's Hunter. Angel, I'm sorry. Angel just managed to nudge Hunter. Oh, okay. Okay, that's not good, guys. That's not good. Secondary contact after things had stabilized, and that's contact with an admin. It shouldn't matter that it's an admin, but I didn't like that, I'm afraid. At first glance, that didn't fill me with a great deal of joy. There you can see you've got David trying to turn into the corner on his line. Carl says it shouldn't. Yeah. Anyway, but Rubinho through. and into P2 now. Oh, there's another touch there. That looks like, is that Angel again in the McLaren? Just getting really impatient, I think, behind the GT4s. But the instructions are fairly clear. GT4s stay on the racing line. GT3s find their way by safely. It's as clear as it can be. And Hellgrind looking very good through turn 9, and then Angel dropping back out onto the gravel. As Grace says, if only we had some sunlight. Yeah, we will have headlights in the post-game replays that drivers will be able to look at. But yeah, in GT7, there's this option to turn the temporary exposure up of the race. Do you know what? Now I'm saying that out loud, I might be able to do something about that. Let me. I don't want to promise things that I can't deliver, and then ignore actual action on the racetrack either. Let me see. Is there anything I can do about that on my end? I'm sure there is, but I think there's like a filter I can apply possibly. I'll have a look. I'll try and keep an eye on that as we see the GT3 field desperately trying to find their way by all the GT4s. That looks like, oh, that's another car wide, and it's Osmanian Devil. It's David trying to stay out of the way of this busy pack as the pit window finally opens for the drivers. Wow, what a difficult time they've had of it today. So hang on a minute, what about this? Oh, that's horrid. Yes, it's not. I'm not liking it. Sorry, I'm trying to change things live, and it's not what I want at all. It's a night race. Should be dark. But yes, I apologise if you can't see very well. I don't think the sun will come out. Unfortunately, we are sunset night race rather than night to day transition. It's only 8:50 p.m. 2050 local time right now. Alpha is in 5th place with his Chewy Motorsports teammate directly behind him, and a decent gap back out to Angel, and that looks to be in the region of 5 or 6 seconds to Angel, who's been on a bit of a tear today, you have to say. Angel overtaking Milkman, his teammate. Seems like he managed to pass his teammate a little bit easier there in the GT4s. But yeah, when I tried to just turn up the brightness, it just went grey. Everything just went grey, and that's even worse. Hellgrind in P3, Rubinho in P4. We have a pit stop. Hunter's come in, I imagine, to fix some damage as soon as the pit window opened. And I imagine he's also feeling a little bit displeased with how things have gone so far. GTX Dave leads the GT4 field. Yes, he does. There are 12 of each class in the field, which I love about this season. Actually, it's great to do that, and it's like, obviously, you know, it's natural, it's human nature to want your car or your class on screen more. But because there were only 5 or 6 drivers last season, it was hard for me to give equal track time to GT4s and GT3s. Hopefully, I'm making up for that a little bit with the extra POVs on screen as well. Hopefully that helps give people a fair shake of the coverage, and they enjoy watching it back and seeing their best moments. That's my hope anyway for everybody. The Gulf livery is the easy one to see. Yeah, you're right. It is gorgeous as well. It really is. Silver just doesn't ever work in night racing. And Angel almost rear-ended the leader of the GT4s and is treating this a little bit like a Pokemon card situation. And he's trying to catch them all today, I think. Angel seems to be in an uncharacteristically aggressive mood today, possibly. Aries in P7 back at the moment. And having raced with him, it's always a surprise to see Aries in the midfield of any given race. He's absolutely electric in casual racing, and I think it has all the potential to be right up there. This is Nordic Dad trying to pass the Porsche, the late breaker Porsche GT4. Nordic Dad around the outside, and I think North Sea might take the lion's share of the blame for that one. Again, just at first glance, Nordic Dad was already past the pit lane entry, couldn't really head in. It was a slow speed, low impact collision. Going Gray says, saw that coming a mile away. Well, if only we were all as as clairvoyant as you, Grace. But yes, okay, all right, fine. You all knew it was going to happen. Fine. Sim Racers in P10, Elite Rain in P11. We've got Osmanian Devil in 16th or 4th in class there. Let me give you a new driver on the list, shall we? I can't. I haven't given you any Matrix. Where is Matrix in the list? There he is. He's in the middle. So if I turn off Elite Rain, the one you can see on track right now, that is Matrix on the middle of the screen. I can't say. I'm sorry, Matrix. Was that Matrix? That. Oh dear. Well, there you go. Highlight moment from Matrix. Yeah, sorry about that, dude. Going through the chicane at the end of the lap. He's in. This is Osmanian Devil trying to stay out of trouble in the 555 ahead of David in the 33 and Max Trax closing in. Good battle in the GT4s. I do like to see single make racing going on together. It is a night race. Off onto the marbles. That's going to run deep into the corner. Leave some space, guys. All the time, you have to leave the space. I think both drivers could take a little bit of a talking to, possibly, at least from their team bosses there, about how how is the best way to go racing. But Kessel Run Racing, look at that one from Max Trax, making his way through. And again, unfortunately, the Porsche behind making contact with the Chewy Motorsports car twice. I'm not sure that David is going to be Mr. Popular at the end of the race, unfortunately. But with cars condensed like that, it is always going to be a very, very tricky place to go racing. North Sea has a drive-through, by the way. I'm sorry to report. North Sea with a drive-through penalty. Marnik leads our race after 26 minutes of the 60. We have had very few pit stops. One of the pit stops is North Sea, and North Sea has the drive-through, so you might be able to join those dots. The drive-through usually is a penalty for track limit abuse. I mean, if you can find track limits today in these dark conditions, you're doing pretty well. So I'll criticise nobody for track limits today. Rubinho in second. Hellgrind, what a drive from Hellgrind in P3 as he just recovers the front and rear end of his Mustang there, while he's in focus for a moment. Have we got pit stops coming? Not yet. Not just yet. We'll see who elects to do what with their strategy, and this is where I need our live audience to help me out. If you are connected to a team and you can reveal what is happening with any of our drivers' pit stops, like if they're taking tyres, if they're not taking tyres, that is really, really helpful to us as a live viewing audience. It's not telemetry information we can pick up here. And that was Alpha spamming the light flash button there, just in serving warning. And the trouble is, if you've had an accident as a faster class driver, you treat all the slower class drivers the same for the rest of the day. Kyle with all the insights there, a Ted Kravitz level insight, or is it a Will Buxton level there? Some will take tyres and some will not. Love it. Christopher saying GT4 is much more aggressive as it sits. I think I like GT4 more than GT3s. You're not the first person to say that. A lot of people enjoy the discipline of GT4, the fact that it's much more about momentum into corners as Chappie makes his way through there. P6, I want to say P6, but yes, P6. Aries making his way through the group now as well. GT4 is superior, says Kyle. So, yeah, definitely not. You're not alone in that opinion. We've been trying to drive all sorts of different things here at Black Flag. So you can always find a race that suits your preference. If it's just GT4s, you might wait for a GT4 in the one make. If it's mixed class, if it's even the TCR, we use the TCR recently as well. So you know, there's something for everybody really. Alohi in P14, second in his GT4 class, looking very good out there at the moment. Alohi, he'll be taking a really good run of points out of today if he brings this to a conclusion the way it looks like it's going for him. It's great to have everybody with us today. I hope you've all subscribed to the channel and consider dropping a tip my way if you so desire. Osmanian Devil P15, Max Tracks P16, 555 ahead of the 308. Kessel Run Racing GT4s are ready. As Logan says, Matrix taking fuel only. There you go. You can tell on the screen. Very good indeed. Thunder saying nice to be here. Fantastic. Ghoststroke P17 and therefore 5th in his class. So Ghoststroke having a more successful race this time out than he saw last time out. And I mean, I have to apologise for what little you can actually see on track there. It really is pretty hard here. Kai van Hesse then is in 6th in class because he has taken his pit stop. So that's Kai van Hesse at the lead of this group, ahead of Milkman, his teammate. Behind them, Simracer in the GT3 will be coming his way through as our race control director Hans gives us his heavily accented German evaluation that we are halfway through the race. Rice is there as well. So this is the Nordic Star run at the moment, the silver and blue, with just one Kessel Run Racing GT3 coming through to make his way by. So Ghoststroke is 7 seconds ahead of Kai van Hesse without a pit stop having been made. All this group have looked like all this North Star, I called them Nordic Stars, North Star Racing team have all pitted together, and there's Rice as well. They are doing a bit of a why have I forgotten the word for drivers driving in line with one another. Sometimes words completely fail me as Matrix fuel and left sides from his sources. Yeah, you can't change your left tyres, I don't believe anyway. No, not Peloton. No, it's not. That's not what I'm thinking. Begins with C. Convoy. It's the North Star Convoy right now. There you go. That's what I'm thinking of. Not Marnik coming through. And he's on his way then. So Marnik in the Lexus will stream past Rice here in the McLaren GT4. And there you have it. So pit stops slowly but surely being made. Marnik obviously hasn't pitted yet and has a decent gap out to second in class at the moment in the GT3, second overall as well. Hellgrind and Angel, who's picking up the pace right now as well at the end of his first stint of racing. Yeah, no worries. No worries, Kyle. It's all cool. You heard me questioning myself there for a minute. As an inexperienced ACC driver, you probably get away with all sorts of prank comments, to be honest. This is Hellgrind, who is about to put a lap on the pit-stopped Nordic Dad, who may be on better tyres. Well, it doesn't look like it, does it? He's either on the same tyres that he came in on, or he's on brand new cold tyres, and he can't get any grip to the apexes there. Let's try and get you a bit of a closer up action there as he comes through. Oh, fantastic. Love to see that. That's a little bit easier to see it's harder to see what's happening on track, but at least you can see larger cars on the main camera. And speaking of which, I'll just change things up a little bit, shall I? I'll give you a couple different drivers to see. And let's get Major back on, shall we? And I need to change him all the way to live. There we go. Major is live. Hellgrind P2, and on a similar strategy at the moment anyway to Marnik. Here comes Hellgrind, 002 is his race number. In he goes. Little late today, but let's go Dad, says Shannon. Oh, and the whole family watching once again. Wonderful. I hope you make a big occasion of it, and it's good to see everybody. Let me know their names and I'll give them all a shout out. It's so good to see you, as well as Thunder Army, brother of Nordic Dad, so Nordic uncle, potentially there. As Alpha comes through, Alpha has not pitted yet. He might have revenge in mind here with Marnik, but at the moment there's a very big gap that has developed, so he'll have to rely on a different strategy option. It is possible for the drivers to cut their losses and say, do you know what, I was going to take tyres, I'm now not going to take tyres if things turn incorrectly. Thunder Army, you're on your son's account. Nice. Hi to Oliver and to Charlotte. So thank you to you guys, as well as Shannon and Veronica. Hopefully I've caught everybody now. But yes, great to have you all watching with us, cheering on Nordic Dad or Nordic Grandad. Keith, you'll have to let me know what a Nordic grandfather's nickname is, like Grandad, Grandpa. What is it in Nord speak? Is it Papa? And Dylan's here. Awesome to see. Right, the 55 Nordic Dad racing Carlos Sainz number here. So that's very good. It is Papa. Awesome. Nice. Yes, BFR Juniors, we definitely could. Nordic is Canadian. Well, you know, but he's claiming heritage, isn't he? So we'll have to go with that. I know North American settling family ancestry likes to claim its European roots, right? So there you go. we're not that bothered in the UK, to be honest. I mean, we most of us don't know where we come from. It could be anywhere, absolutely anywhere. I think I have Romany traveller community in my heritage, as well as French, because Webster, my surname, means weaver in French, so I think that's what that is. Anyway, that's a bit too much information you didn't ask for. It's Papa Keith, says Thunder Army. Awesome. So let's take you back through what's happening at the back of the field there. Oh, that was problematic. Was that North Sea bouncing around? It was David bouncing around there on the exit in the Porsche GT4. No, it wasn't. That's right. It was a red car. It was the late breakers. Was it Aries? That would be a big surprise, but his tyres may well be going off or coming in to... Kyle saying, Grandad immigrated from Manchester after World War I. Awesome. Nice. So, Aries P6 is having pitted, looking pretty good. 8 seconds away from Alpha. He's got a good, like, 30-odd second gap back to Chappie. Sorry, 17-second gap to Chappie. 20-second or thereabouts to Chappie. As they come through, we've got Chappie coming through. I know it's hard to see who's who. I do apologise. It's very difficult. But if I highlight the name that is highlighted on the left corner of the main screen is the one that we're looking at. That should be center screen, center of the camera at any given point. So I know it's tough. Let's maybe switch you out and see a slightly different view of things then, shall we? On the main screen, we can get a good internal view. I don't know why everything's blue in the Lamborghini, but it is. As we come into the turn 7 and then over what is not much of a corner, turn 8, but if you do try and bite too much of that apex, you can get yourself into an awful lot of trouble. Likewise, turn 9, use but do not abuse the curbs, and that was absolutely perfect line from Simracer on his way through as he chases down Elite Rain here for P8 in the GT3 and overall standings. And both drivers going very long into the exit of turn 10. I think the temperatures are playing absolute havoc with their practice run. Hopefully the drivers did plenty of practice here. SimRacer having a good race, says Kyle. Yeah, but I mean, I would rate SimRacer in the top group of any field. So it does go to show just how strong our field is here. Chasing the Mustang down the straights is going to be tricky. Yeah, definitely. You need to get a lot closer to the rear of the Mustang to use the aerodynamics of the Lamborghini a bit more. But I'm sure Matrix is equal to it. A lot of drivers I know really hate this Lamborghini in ACC, but it did used to be like the most favoured car in Gran Turismo. The Mustang hasn't made an appearance yet. Oh, we got very close and personal there, and it's a little bit loose, but it's the cold surface temperatures, I think, that are catching our drivers out from time to time. Nordic Dad will gain time on SimRacer, but he's stuck in 11th place right now. GTX Dave is still in the lead of the GT4 field, and clearly did not take tyres versus Kai van Hesse, who was right with him, unless Kai's been off. But I think Kai van Hesse, with 20 minutes to go, has a 9-second deficit to catch GTX Dave. Last lap, a 1:55.6 for Kai and a 1:54.8 for GTX Dave. So maybe it's the other way around, but that is a surprise to see Kai van Hesse so far back behind P1. It seems our curse of Black Flag Racing is that we always have a dominant GT4 driver. And I don't know how we always do this, and sometimes they're not the same driver race to race, and that has been witnessed here. Kai van Hesse, to this point, has been far and away the quickest in this field. I think Marnik in the solo Lexus is coming through from the lead of the race. He has a gap of, what do I want to say? Where is he? Marnik up here, 12 seconds back to Angel, who has leapfrogged Alpha, but so has Hellgrind and Rubinho, I believe. So again, I think that Alpha has taken tyres, whereas the other drivers haven't. I would imagine more drivers will not take tyres this race because of those colder temperatures. That's my prediction, but I have no inside information. Kyle just describing here. Are you describing the Lamborghini? Yes, I think you are. So terrible for understeer, then sudden oversteer. That said, the Huracan Group 3 and GT7 is amazingly stable. Partial to the Z4, Z4. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Haven't driven the Z4, sorry, I need to Americanize. Haven't driven that myself much at all. But I'm just growing ever more in love with the Porsches, to be honest, since trying them. I just, yeah, I don't know why. I'm no good in them. I'm not quicker, but for me, the revelation recently has been trying the BMW GT3 and ACC. I've really enjoyed that. It's so simple and neutral. Like, it doesn't seem extreme in any regard, the BMW. So I know why a lot of drivers have gravitated towards that BMW as well. I'm talking, yeah, about the M4, by the way. I have tried the M6, but yeah, less said about that the better, probably. Hellgrind, I want to say P3, not P2 as he appears on screen at the moment on my game screen. So you have got it correct on your leaderboard, so that's a relief. It's just ACC, it just isn't built for broadcasting, unfortunately. But we cope. We try and cope anyway. Hellgrind, he's got the number 16 of Rice. Let's not beat up and push around the GT4s, please, everybody. This is just not a passing section, you know, it just isn't. This portion at the end of the third sector, you should be able to absolutely walk by here, but the stress comes when you know that your rival is getting too far away from you. Still, Still feel pretty annoyed by what happened earlier on, I have to say, on Hunter. But I'll try and put that out at the back of my mind. I'm sure Hunter's moved on, but it's difficult when you've watched some less than pleasant behaviour on track. It's Angel in P2, and he is now 9.9 seconds away from Marnik. It's great. You've now got the leaders of both classes on track together. You're not the only one annoyed, says Kyle. Yeah, all right. Well, check out the Discord and any socials and things for post-race decisions. I'll try and give you an update, but we do have a short break. I think we've got a 2-week break now. A week off. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time here for round 3 of the championship. I'll just try and describe that properly. But yeah, GTX Dave is the 31 here, and he's not far on track, at least, away from Marnik. So you can see Marnik's done 24 laps, GTX Dave's done 22. He may go 3 laps down before the end of the race to the outright leader Marnik, given the speed differential. So 9.9-ish seconds Angel. Sorry, it's now 8.9 seconds from Angel to Marnik. Angel is progressing through here quite well, and Hellgrind isn't going to let this go away either. That'd be great to see Hellgrind up on the podium after missing the last race, and Angel has put in, he's certainly got pace today. We have to give him that. Rubinho in P4 coming through ahead of Milkman in second in his class. Rice behind him in third in class, 2.7 seconds separating second and third in the GT4 field. Behind them, you've got Alpha, who'll be feeling a little bit miffed after what happened earlier on. He's flashing the lights again on another GT4. Alpha, move to the inside. There you go. Nicely done. What's the driver behind supposed to do? Driving down the racing line on the approach to the corner. Just go by. There you go. P5 for Alpha, but he is probably too far away to feature on the podium today. I think 7 seconds from 4th place, and then probably looking at 11 or 12 up to 3rd place overall, which is going to hurt, and it's going to hurt the championship. Here comes Aries getting by Alohi. It's just a mixed class pass there. Alohi, not many Astons in the field, but this is the Chewy Motorsports 57 for Alohi. Kai van Hesse. I got confused then for a minute because the race I did 2 hours ago had another number 57 car in it, yeah. I was like, I associate 57 with a different car today, but that's just one of those commentator covering multiple series issues. There's Aries. You've been watching Aries, I think, pretty much the entire race long. So I hope you've been enjoying that. Let's give you a bit more ghost stroke, shall we? Lower right, and possibly let's go back to Matrix on the middle of the screen below there. The unnamed Matrix. I don't know why I've not put his name in properly. It might be possible. Can't even see where I put it. Where did I put his name? Oh, is it the... Oh, I forget. Anyway, you know which one it is. Aries P6. And I thought we had a driver pitting there. We have got a driver pitting there. That's Hunter. Has Hunter quit out? Yeah, I think he has, sadly. Let's just have a quick check. Yeah, he's 16 laps off. I think he's done the sensible thing and left what we left the race there after probably getting a little bit angry. Yeah, so Kyle's saying it's been parked a while. My apologies for missing that. As the drivers filter through past the pits, it kind of looks like someone has pitted and someone hasn't. Chappie on track, P7 ahead of P2, no, 5th in class, Kai van Hesse. So I think Kai might have been off looking at this. He's certainly lost a lot of ground here to the lead of the class. So that's unfortunate for the 28. But it's good for our championship. It should bring things nice and close together. Elite Rain, P8, Major Get Wrecked. Drivers you see a lot of on our coverage and are active midweek as well. Major get wrecked here, the 215 for Kessel Run Racing in the only Audi, I want to say, in the field. Wow, that takes a wide line through turn 4, doesn't it? As he comes down in towards that turn 5 now. And off into the gloom once again. So give you that mood lighting, shall we? Sort of binocular view of life, and then you've got this these chase views as well. So I think we'll stay here because the Audi always sounds pretty nice on its exhaust. I quite like that. Just under 11 minutes to go in the race. 11 minutes to go. Marnik leading ahead of Angel and Hellgrind in the GT3s, and we've got GTX Dave ahead of Milkman and Rice, the podiums of the GT4 field. That's Aries bouncing along the curb. These two had a terrific fight on a Tuesday Euro sprints a few weeks ago. So it's good to see them on track together once again. Get wrecked. This is actually Elite Rain, excuse me, it's not Aries. It's another one of the late breakers, it's the Porsche Elite Rain. So as he closes in, let's go up and onto the helicopter, and we will capture what's going on. One of the best things about the ACC coverage is the different camera angles that we can use. Yeah, that Ford is really struggling through turn 3. No surprises there. Struggling to keep the car at the apex. It's obviously his minimum speed is a lot lower. Classic racing line coming from the Audi as the boat-like Mustang sort of tries to turn using the rudder behind. But we've also got a bit of lag on Elliot Rain's car. I don't want to give too much in the way of criticism for his driving, because some of the jankiness there is down to the lag on the car. But a good battle here in the closing stages of our 1 hour endurance race. Remember, this is race 2 of 7 this season, and I think, well, I'll certainly bring up the remaining calendar on the end splash screen for you, so you can keep track of when we will next be live. I believe it's in 2 weeks' time for, if memory serves, it's Donington, but I will definitely need to check on that one. Elite Rain and Get Wrecked check. Arguing currently over 8th and 9th positions in the GT3 field. I'm not sure if anything's going to happen right now. Let's see as Get Wrecked gets into the final corner. Well, certainly Elite Rain is feeling a little bit on the defensive side here. I should probably give you Major Get Wrecked's view of it, given that they're nice and close together at the moment. Give that feedback to you as we run through. And I'll just go back to the standings. So you can see this this battle continue. Go back to Elite Rain as well, shall we? You can see this one, and then straight round the outside goes Major Get Wrecked. Beautiful manoeuvre there. And I actually want to go back and see that again in the replay. That was very nice indeed. Up to P8, and I think the car, I was going to say, behaving a lot more predictably than the Mustang is for Elite Rain. I think now that, oh, running wide, running very wide. I was going to say, I think now that he's back ahead, he'll find an easier job of gapping Elite Rain, because he looked like the quicker car. But the situation is such that I think it's just tricky to see the racetrack at this late stage at 9:54 p.m. At Barcelona. As they run through with the blue lights on board then for Major Get Wrecked. He's got ahead now, but the gap just will not open up behind as he's trying to find his reference points once again. There it is, starting to open now. So things are clearing up a little bit for him. Nordic Dad is in P10 and number 55. It's a good performance, good race from him so far. Teammate, but in the GT3 field, Kai van Hesse. After winning on the previous race, is now down in 5th in class, but he was helped to that position, I do believe, for a moment. Hi to VR Hot Laps. Good fun channel to watch if you're ever fancy a joke and a giggle. I've had the intro of your videos stuck in my head for 3 days, VR Hot Laps. So yes, next Saturday is a 6-hour charity race at Silverstone. Then we do go back to Premier at Donington. Thank you, Grays, for that. Appreciate it. Marnek leading the GT3 field once again. A little flash of the lights there. I think just with a best lap of a 44.4. Ahead on track of Simracer, but what is that gap? It's a 46.9 for Angel, and he's 6.3 seconds further back in second in the class. So the Lexus stretching away here today at Barcelona, and really it's only Marnek that can lose this race. There's not much anyone else can do about his pace on track at the moment. He did come together with Alpha down into turn 1. Would things have been different had that not happened? We can't ever know, of course, but we can see what the stewards say if both drivers are minded to, and if they both finish high up, the chance of a steward inquiry is much higher than if someone bins it and loses positions because they feel like they're not going to gain anything. I love the attention to detail here of putting those optional A-pillar lights, those purpley A-pillar lights up, and the LED strips on the cabin section of the cars. Not everyone is doing that, but Angel's North Star Racing team absolutely have. So I do like a little bit of extra detail. It does also help you see which car is which, especially if we sort of mandated which colour those had to be. So if we can have like LED light strips up, because we do have more dark race conditions still to come. Now you can see the sort of yellow orange line on the passenger window side. One of the Kessel Run racing cars there of Simracer has got the stripe down the roof. Can you see that? We'll see that just in a moment. There it is. So it's not everybody is doing the same thing on their liveries, so there's a little bit of customization or lack thereof across the team. I don't quite know how Hailgrind has only got them on one side of the car. Didn't think that was an option either, but Hailgrind looking for a really showstopper P3 today after missing a round. Did he decide to miss the last round so that he could practice more at Barcelona? I'm sure he didn't. I'm sure it was a clash of personal stuff. But anyway, Rubinho P4 at the moment, and very much on his own here. He's got 9-second gap in front, 6.6 second gap behind. So Rubinho looking good out there. Max Trax is in 6th in his class, 308 ahead of teammate, the 555 of Osmanian Devil. He's in 7th naturally in his class. He's in the Mercedes as well. Then you've got Alpha in the BMW, who was 2nd on the grid, led the race before heading into turn 1, with Marnek going for a late-ish move. No shark spotted here, says Hot Laps. Yeah, so we're not going to get that particular. It's your other one. It's your the one kind of sounds like Frank Sinatra that I'm thinking of. It's that one. Max Trax there in 18th and 19th, just passed by Alpha. So Alpha's gap, I don't know if we'll even get to see it. He's got 16.5 seconds to the podium, 7 seconds to Rubinho. So it's a tall order. He's going to rely on someone else's mistake. Aries in 6th place. You've been watching him nearly the whole race long. Bottom left of your screen. Aries looks to be putting together a really nice championship point haul today. And we've got David. I think David has gotten himself a lot of practice today, a lot of training, a lot of learning done. Oh, have I just cursed him? It's not too bad. It's not too bad. He didn't hit the barrier. It's okay. David's in 20th position, 8th in class, so finishing ahead of some of the GT4 cars is certainly nothing to be sniffed at all. Chappie in 7th. There's a long gaps have opened out between drivers, as you can expect. Still first in GT4, controversially somewhat. GTX Dave for Kessel Run Racing in that beautiful Gulf livery scheme. Matrix running with Lime Lemon, just passing him. Both late breakers today, at least, in the red, black, and white. But obviously different classes there. So Lime Lemon getting by. Hunter's in the pits, as we mentioned before. This is Major Get Wrecked in P8. He's not James Bond. I don't know why I called him, addressed him that way. Milkman in 14th or 2nd in class. That's going to be a popular one. As we've got Elite Rain in 9th, Nordic Dad in 10th. And I need to go find our leader, really, don't I? He's just crossed over. We've got Rice currently in 3rd, provisionally on the podium there for the GT4 field. Oh, it's Sammy Davis Jr. Thank you. Right, understood. Certainly that era anyway. Nordic Dad, Elite Rain, swapping positions there. Elite Rain just getting by, so Nordic Dad still in 10th. As we look back to see where is Marnik on track. Here he is, coming through turn 4, the 67 Lexus, with the Swiss flag on the hood. Marnik is not Swiss, I believe he's Dutch, but it's just the livery we have to live with. And they clearly completely misplaced the LED strip on Marnik's car. What is happening with that? Have a look at this. Surely that is not a design choice that they've made, like having a sort of weird stripe, asymmetrical stripe across diagonally on the top of the car. That has to be some sort of game render issue, right? Anyway, Marnik 7.8 seconds, nearly 8 seconds ahead right now as he comes through turn 12 and into 13. It's going to be a very simple and fairly easy day for Marnik to come through. I'll say that. He won't agree. He'll say it was been really tricky. But anyway, through the final corner, Marnik to cross the line. Then he's going to finish 8 seconds in the lead of this race. Marnik wins in Barcelona. So another fantastic performance from Marnik. Angel crosses the line in 2nd place. We may have some asterisks after certain drivers' names then at the front of the grid today. Hellgrind, I think, had that finish out nicely in P3. Great podium for Hellgrind. And as I say, that'll be a popular one as Rubinho crosses the line into 4th. And that's Kai van Hesse finishing the race in 5th in class, not 5th overall. I just want to find where everybody else is. We've got Simracer home, and that was Alpha closing out the race, and he quitted straight back to the pits. I think he's not happy. That tends to be a sign of drivers who are not particularly pleased. Aries home in 6th. That'll be a good one. A happy driver, I would imagine. And I just want to try and find the problem here is I want to find our GT4 race leader. Here is GTX Dave with Milkman and Rice not far behind either. Milkman and Rice could make a really good rice pudding, you know? Sorry. Sun for the next race, says Going Grays. There you go. So here he comes through the run, through the final horrible chicane. Out of the final corner, number 31. It's GTX Jave in the only Janetta to cross the line, and we won't quite catch him. Here he is, across the line for the GT4 field win. GTX Dave at Barcelona winning, and then we should be able to try and find Milkman and Rice crossover for a great result for North Star Racing for the two there, the silver and purples, as they come to a finish. A really good, enjoyable race. I hope you enjoyed it too. And you can see the final standings here. Marnik, Angel, Hellgrind, Rubinho, Alpha in 5th, Aries in 6th, Chappie, Get Wrecked, Elite Rain and Nordic Dad, with Simracer and Lime Lemon finishing out all 12 cars in the GT3 field. It was GTX Dave winning ahead of Milkman and Rice, at least on track anyway, GTX Dave. Alohi in 4th, Kai van Hesse home in 5th. He probably will see that as a potential drop score to come. Osmanian Devil out in 6th with David. Max Tracks, Matrix, Ghost Stroke and North Sea home with a drive-through, unpaid. Ghost Stroke taking a penalty as well. Hunter, of course, didn't finish, sadly. I never started in the race, but GG, well done to Marnik, Angel, Hellgrind, to GTX Dave, Milkman and Rice for your podiums. I appreciate everybody for joining us today. Thank you for spending your time with us, whether it's the early evening or it's the it would be the lunchtime in the US. I appreciate you all. Yes, definitely send me to custody, Hot Laps, any day. But yeah, thank you very much. The calendar's coming up on the end screen. Please hit something positive on the video on your way out today. Thank you for watching, for being with Black Flag Racing. Take part in the charity race next week if you can. And we will see you in 2 weeks' time here on the channel for the next round of the Premier Division at Black Flag Racing. My name's Webbo. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you on the next race day.